All right, good Thursday evening, everybody. We've got some pretty big changes coming over the next several days. It includes a couple of rounds of isolated storms, but storms that could be severe. And then we're going to see a sharp drop in the temperature for the second half of the weekend through early next week. Now, the first round of rain is coming with this front. You see back to the northwest of us. Now, most of the rain with this is going to stay to the north, but we could see isolated showers over the eastern part of the state starting Friday afternoon. Here's a look at Live Max 12. No rain, of course, tonight, but we do see some moisture return back here in Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi, and that's going to meet up with that front as we get into Friday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. So 63 right now. Remember, earlier this week we were down to 35 for a low. Things have changed, haven't they? We've had a southerly breeze over the past couple of days, helping to push temperatures and dew points up. So because the dew point is going to be relatively high overnight in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees, we could see some fog developing. There is a dense fog advisory in effect in the gray shaded area, mostly along the Gulf Coast, southeast Louisiana, but it does include a couple of counties in our area, that is Pike and Walthall counties. Now, the limiting factor for fog is going to be the fact that there could be a southerly breeze overnight at 5 miles per hour or better. Fog doesn't like wind, so when it's breezy, fog's not going to develop. So if the winds calm down, we've got a better chance of seeing some patchy, dense fog out there. So that's why we don't have a dense fog advisory for central Mississippi, is because I think it's just going to be too windy tonight. But don't be surprised to run into patches of that first thing in the morning for out and about right around sunrise. So at sunrise, temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s. It's well above the normal low of 46. And then tomorrow, even with a whole lot of clouds out there and limited sun, it's still going to be a warm day. Now, we're going to see less sun tomorrow than we have over the past several days, but it could be one of our warmest days of the week with highs near 80 degrees, and that's because of that south wind out there. So here's a look at the first front coming on in. That moves in for late tomorrow. Out ahead of it, storms develop over the eastern part of the state, and then they quickly move eastward. The best chance of seeing severe weather is actually going to be well to the north of us, over parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, but it can't be ruled out farther south when those storms initiate in the afternoon over east Mississippi and then move over into Alabama. So that's the first round of rain. A lot of us won't see any of it, just isolated storms. And then here comes front number 2. This is a fast-moving front that is really going to pack the punch as far as the colder air is concerned. And remember, during the day Saturday, it's still going to be pretty warm. We're still going to make it into the low 80s. There's going to be enough moisture around that when this second front runs into Mississippi, we are going to see isolated showers developing, let's say, late afternoon, early evening. And then as the front continues into the Pine Belt, it'll push rain through that area into the overnight hours, Saturday night and into Sunday. So here's a breakdown of the rain. First front comes in. Notice storms quickly move through the Pine Belt early, mid-afternoon. Then they're going to move to the east of us, and we're done with that first round of rain. So not a huge deal there. But then front number 2 comes in, and later in the evening on Saturday, a couple of isolated showers will develop along the front. And then they're going to grow as they head southeastward through the Pine Belt during the overnight hours. And with either round of storms, we can't rule out one or two of them getting strong with heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds. So here's your marginal risk of severe weather. First round, east Mississippi, Friday afternoon. Second round, more of central and south Mississippi, starting, let's say, Saturday evening, going into early Sunday morning. All right, that's it with the rain. The coverage is not going to be good for either event. So we're going to call it scattered storms Friday over east Mississippi, and then just stray isolated storms Saturday night, ending early Sunday morning. Once we get to Sunday, the big weather story is going to be the sharp drop in the temperature. You're going to feel it. The winds are going to start to kick in from the north, and temperatures are going to drop 20, 30 degrees in some cases. So here's a look at our low temperatures, and over the weekend we're okay. But once we get to early next week, it gets cold in a hurry. So We have been talking about Tuesday morning for quite some time. Very confident that we're going to get a hard freeze Tuesday morning. But now we got to look at Monday morning as well. Look at Monday morning. The low 34, freezing is 32. So that's a little bit too close for comfort. What I really think is going to happen Monday morning, it's going to be cold, it's going to be really windy, and wind chills are going to be down into the 20s, but the actual temperature may stay just above freezing. Still, if 34 is too close for comfort for you, then maybe you need to take those actions that you need to take to protect tender vegetation. Do that over the weekend so you don't have to worry about Monday morning. Monday afternoon is going to be your last chance, because definitely overnight Monday night into Tuesday, we're going to spend several hours below freezing, and a lot of places are going to dip into the 20s. We could even be as low as about 26 degrees over East Mississippi. So no doubt about it, that is definitely going to be the end of the growing season come Tuesday morning. And then we're going to warm right back up. As we head through next week, it'll be sunny and temperatures are immediately going to bounce back. But for a couple of days, it's going to feel like the dead of winter. That's going to be Monday and Tuesday. So Tuesday, this is the more likely morning that we're going to get that hard freeze, and that's going to be for just about all of us, all the way down to the Louisiana state line, and even South Louisiana I think is going to see temperatures dip to near the freezing mark. So for this night, warm in comparison, 57 degrees. Remember, a little bit of patchy fog, especially down to the south of us, and if winds do relax overnight, we could see more of that as far north as the Jackson area. So be prepared for a little bit of that first thing in the morning. Then tomorrow, south wind, clouds increasing, limited sun, high temperature of 80, then a 30% chance of rain, mostly in the afternoon and mostly east of Interstate 55. Then we get to Saturday and Sunday. Notice the chance of rain is not great, just 10 to 20% Saturday night into Sunday. But again, any of those storms that do develop could be on the strong side. Now, look at the drop in the temperature from Saturday before front number 2 comes in at 81 degrees to Sunday. Behind that front, we're at 62, and then we continue to trend downward. So even with full sunshine, Monday, the high temperature just at 49 degrees. Monday is going to be a cold, blustery day, but then Monday night, I think that high pressure is going to be right over us. The winds are going to calm down, skies are going to be clear, temperatures are going to drop. I think anytime after midnight, we could drop below freezing, and we're going to bottom out at least at 29 degrees on Tuesday morning. That is Veterans Day, but then take a look at how much we warm up in the afternoon. We're going to go from 29 to 59, so that's a 30-degree warm-up, and then the warming trend is going to kick off, and we could be in the low 70s as early as the next day on your Wednesday. So it's not going to stay cold long, but unfortunately, it definitely is going to get below freezing. So we've got to do all those things that we need to do to prepare for freezing weather over the weekend. Now, it's not pipe-busting cold. We don't have to worry about that. But tender plants that are outside, you got to cover them up or bring them in, or they're not going to make it. All right, that is your forecast for tonight. Megan is off tomorrow, so meteorologist Roberto Zamora is going to be here tomorrow morning with your next weather update. Till then, have a good one.